Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about rounding and attending rounds as a parent. Rounding is when your child's medical team in the ICU comes together generally twice a day, morning and night, around shift change, to talk about your child, talk about their diagnosis, their prognosis, and the plan. When we first came into the ICU and they said, "Oh, we're going to round on your son," I didn't really understand what that meant, nor did I know if I was welcome at this event of rounding. And, obviously, when you think about it, you should be, but also I didn't want to be a disturbance either to the process. So I think attending rounds as a parent is a great thing to do. It's really where I learned the most about my son. I learned the most about what the plan is, and I think living in the ICU for as long as we did, I could only handle a 12-hour plan. So I sort of thrived on the information that I received during rounds and said, okay, you know what? I'm going to frame my day in the next 12-hour chunk, and then when we understand what's going on the next 12 hours, I'll focus on that. Looking too far into the distance sometimes with these kids and these diagnoses can be a bit challenging. So rounds sort of helped me to frame a little bit of perspective in terms of looking just at the next 12 hours. Okay, we got through the next 12 hours. What are we going to do in the next 12 hours? I would always attend rounds with a notebook, jot anything down that doesn't make sense, a term that you hear that you have a question on. And I would always, of course, respect the medical community and the team that was working with my son and let them finish rounding so that they're able to relate all of the information that they need to relate. And then if I had any questions at the conclusion is when I would ask. Either I would ask at rounds or I would ask a nurse to sort of fill me in on some gaps of information that maybe just didn't translate properly. Attending rounds can be a little challenging. They're going to say some things that you might not want to hear. We all want to think the best. We all always want to hear the most positive, but sometimes the reality of what's happening may not match up with what our expectations are. So attending rounds from that perspective can be a little bit tricky. I think attending rounds also, for me, instilled more confidence in the staff. You know that there's a plan, you know that there are people on it, and it just gave me a little bit of reassurance. And last, it helped me become a better advocate for my son. So attending it, getting the knowledge, knowing what to look for, learning some of the terminology really just helped from a patient advocacy standpoint as a parent. And all hospitals have lots of different resources. So if there's any barriers to communication, things that you don't understand, certainly ask somebody in the ICU, your nurse during rounds, to have an advocate help you understand some of the information that's being relayed to you if you don't understand. So that's it for now. Just wanted to sort of shed some information on what rounds are and how it can be integral attending as a parent in your child's care.